Hi, Suzanne. Welcome, everybody. I don't know if any notifications went out. I don't see a lot of people here. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick little live. Let me let everybody know we are live. We are live. I don't have a really good agenda, I don't think. We have one true crime story that people have been messaging me about. So I guess we could look at that. There's been other ones that people have been messaging me about. But I'm be honest with you, I have been still trying to move in and still trying to do stuff. Hey Joe, welcome. Since we have 11 people in the house, y'all do me a favor and hit that like button or dislike, whichever one. Whichever one. Let me let the people know that we are here. I wanted to do a quick little check and see how everybody's doing and see what's going on. What is up? What is up? Renee, Heidi, welcome. Okay, this Discord is taking forever to start. I know we were having issues yesterday with the Wi-Fi. Let me let the people know that we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Hold up, y'all. At everybody, we are live now. So, welcome everybody. I just called a Russian asset because I said I wouldn't vote for either candidate. I guess I better start practicing how to speak Russian. Oh my God. This is a mess. Let's check in. Let's do a little check in, okay? Now, let me tell you guys something. People are like in my camera, I usually have a different camera. This is the camera that I use, but I'm using the cord for something else. So I can't even connect to my traditional camera, which is why it looks like my head is cut off. Okay, there we go. Um, so I'm glad that you brought this up, Joe, because let me just say this. So shout out to my mods and my beautiful, wonderful Discord members. Let me tell you what happened, okay? Uh, you know, I love y'all. I don't care what you guys vote for. I'm be honest with you. I really don't. And I mean, I know like there's a lot of stuff happening in the world and everything, and I really try not to get in the mess of stuff when it comes to the political stuff, but it is so hard not to. I'm be honest with you. Like I don't know. And I feel like the older and older I get, I feel like it's like every day there's always something going on. Helicopter, there's always something going on. There's always like people pushing you to do stuff or report on stuff or vote for stuff or say something in a different way. And I'm just sitting here just like, can I just be me? Can we just get along because you guys like the content? Regardless, like it's none of my, business who you support politically. That's kind of where I'm at. Or maybe you feel like it is, and maybe I'm just not the creator that wants to push a narrative for you. Does that make sense? It's weird, right? So I'm so glad. And Jill, thank you for gifting memberships. If you guys got a membership from Gil, from Jill, I just gave you a whole different name, girl. I'm so sorry. Look, put a heart in the chat. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you. And respectfully, like I said, I love y'all. Y'all support what you want to support. You know what I mean? I support everybody, but let me give you guys an example. I'm not even joking. And Joe, you got me in this rant, girl. Girl, you got me on this rant. I posted this on my community wall, right? And all I said was, so listen, a legit question. Why are people dragging Perez Hilton in his IG comments for posting about this? Don't get mad at me for asking a question. Honestly, y'all gonna ignore this, right? So recently there's this story that came out. Now, I'm not saying that Trump has been convicted of this. I am not saying that this is what he did. All I'm saying is that he's been mentioned, and there's stories coming out about his connections with Jeffrey Epstein and everything, right? And in these allegations. So people started going in his comments, and I thought like even people came into my comments and started saying, "Oh, you're for that agenda, or you're for this, or you're for that." And I said, "You don't have to believe, you don't have to like the messenger, right? But the message doesn't change." Are we really going to ignore? It's like Bill Clinton. Are we going to ignore his association to Jeffrey Epstein? Whatever side of the world you land in, whatever political side you land in, are we just going to ignore that? I just want to know. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you for saying you don't watch it. No, but as soon as I did my Jeffrey Epstein video, do you know how many people felt some type of way? And I said, man, do I just ignore this topic? Do we just move on? What do we do? Do we just ignore this? You don't have to like the messenger. You don't have to like Perez for bringing this up, but you're going to ignore the message. We're going to ignore the message. See, this is, let's be clear. If Trump were on the list, why the millions spent for a clerical error? Wouldn't this have been way easier? Right. And then the other side to this, too, is like, Salty, why hasn't he been convicted? Not only him, but the many other people that have been on the list as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, thank you. Regardless of politics, I want to look at everybody. I want to be able to talk about whoever it is. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Mary Lee. So, Joe, I blame you, love. I blame you. Because you got me on this tangent. Okay, that was part of my check-in. You don't want anything political. That's right. They're all dirty. I think so too. I think that they're all dirty. That's how I feel. I'm just saying, like, that's it. All right, I'm over that. I hate it. I hate it. I'm just telling you. I don't care for either one. I'm just going to say that like I said what I said. I feel like either way you cut it, like you have to be able to do some due diligence when it comes to, voting anybody. But I'm also not going to ignore the fact that Jeffrey Epstein had so many associations. Now, here's another person who brought this up. Let me bring this up, okay? Tizzy. Do you guys know who Tizzy is? Let me know if you know who Tizzy is. Some of you guys might like him, some of you guys might not. I also don't care for the political part of this, so I want to be very careful on that. Like I said, I am not here to influence your vote. You vote whoever you want to vote for, whatever you stand with, do you, because I support your voting of whatever you want to vote for, right? This is not what this is about. Let me see. Can I bring up my bookmarks? Tizzy brought up a good point, and I said, Lord have mercy, Tizzy, and I don't always agree with everything that Tizzy, I don't agree with everything that Tizzy says, but this right here, it kind of made me think this, like, hold up, y'all. Let me see if I can bring this. So let me share this with you guys. So this is Tizzy's, whatchamacallit, Twitter. Okay. And Tizzy brought this point, and I thought, I understand what Tizzy's saying with this, and I would agree. This is the point that I'm making, that are we just going to ignore this part? Are we just going to act like we don't know what's going on here? I'm just going to put this out here. Like I said, you vote whichever way you want to vote. I don't influence that. I don't. I'm just a little person on the internet. Let me play this, and y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Stick around, and this picture will make more sense. Have you noticed the news has been really busy lately? Lots of stories about the debate, lots of stories about whether or not Biden is fit to continue running, some stories about Project 2025, and that's good. But you know what I haven't really seen any stories about? Did you know that a bunch of Epstein files were unsealed? And like the OG files from the original case against him in Palm Beach County. See,
Judge Delgado from Florida, he was the one that was the head. He gave everybody the notice and said, listen, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be released. Jeffrey Epstein got what they called a sweetheart deal. That's what he got. Okay.
A newspaper there, the Palm Beach Post, found what they believe was evidence indicating that the state attorney had maybe intentionally tanked his own case against Jeffrey Epstein. So they sued to get the grand jury files unsealed. That was back in 2019. It took 5 years to finally get a judge who says, yeah, these should be unsealed. And those files told us a lot. It confirmed a bunch of things that we had heard, like the fact that he was recruiting out of a local high school. He would offer these girls $200 for a massage, and then he would assault them during it. Then after, he'd say, oh, you committed a crime here because you got paid. You could be in big trouble. I tell you what, why don't you go back to your high school and find more girls, and for everyone you send my way, I'll give you another $200.
Yep. And those tapes are out there, you guys. Check out the video. I did a video on this as well. And this was like young girls. These girls they're probably my age now. Because back in 2005, there were, teens. Well, hold up. Yeah. Teens, I'm probably older than them. So yeah, like I can understand this. So we can't just ignore. We can't just ignore this, I think one issue is the fact that the best criminals hide in plain sight. So you just because they were around him doesn't mean they knew what was happening. The lawyer, the FBI files. That's a good point. And Layla even brought this up. Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of connections with literally anyone and everybody. That doesn't mean that all were involved in this disgusting crimes. Throw them all underneath the prison. So to what level? Like, that's the thing, is what have investigators found throughout this whole thing? And that's the piece that honestly, like, as a social media person here, with a YouTube channel, I get shit comments just like Perez. You get shit comments if you talk about this, if it's not for a certain narrative. I said, well, you can't do that, because then what do you all want? Right? Like it almost makes you feel like you're not able, you censored yourself by not aiding to a certain narrative. Now, if y'all love me and support me, whether it's one way or another, you're going to support what, you might not watch that video. Cool. All right, that's fine. Or you might have a hard time with a certain thing. You might email me and say something. But it doesn't mean that it's the same situation that's happening with these people right now. They're on lists. Does that mean that they all committed crimes? Probably not. Are they all guilty? Meryl Streep is on the fucking list, you guys. What was she doing there? Ask yourselves. Meryl Streep. I was looking at at the list, and I said, wait a minute, Meryl Streep's on the fucking list too? What was she doing there? What happened? What'd she do there? She just visit the island? Which one is it? It doesn't mean she committed a crime. Maybe she just got invited. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Oprah is crazy as hell, in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know. Did they see everything that was going on? Did they act like nothing? Not the pub. Well, there you go. See what I'm saying? It's like you can't have it both ways. Like you can't, if they were all on the list, what did they know? That's what we want to know. Kevin Spacey was mentioned. He's acting like he didn't have anything to do with this. He was just there for some charity work, yada, yada, yada. What does this all mean? What does this all mean? I appreciate everybody that supports me. Thank you, Jill, again for gifting memberships. You're awesome. I'm just saying. All right. Yes, the Stephen Hawking's, what was that all about? Are we just gonna act like we don't see this? Are we just gonna ignore it? I mean, let's just talk about it, Anyways, let me keep playing this.
It also makes it look like that state attorney did tank his own case. He could have brought charges against Epstein himself. Instead, he opted for a grand jury where his prosecutors blamed the victims, treated them as if they were prostitutes, said things like, you committed crimes. This is going to ruin your reputation. Literally gaslit them the same way that Jeffrey Epstein did. And that grand jury, as a result, only handed down one indictment for solicitation. But there was...
So that grand jury, actually, yeah, they did. They treated the Jane Does like crap. They really did. But I think part of it is like, maybe it was the time. Maybe it was like the way in which people saw prostitution and then not really seeing them as victims, as underage children. Things have changed in the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years of how we see victims, how we respond to this. You know what I mean? He said, I believe if they convict Trump with this, they would. They have tried everything else. And that's a good point too. Correlation does not equal causation. That's a good point too. Like, if they're going to convict that man, I mean, they're going to find anything and everything. Does that make me feel any better? No. It doesn't make me feel any better about him being president. I'm just going to be like, I feel some type of way about a lot of this. That's all. That's all I want to say. That's my check-in without getting too political. All of it just seems so weird to me. And it seems weird to me that a lot of people aren't highlighting the weirdness out of it.
There was some other stuff that came out in those files. Do you remember just recently, Donald Trump was doing an interview with Fox News, and they asked him about declassifying several files, including Epstein files. Do you remember what he said?
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would
I
you?
did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least.
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
What an odd thing to say.
Yes, Bart, that is an odd thing to say. So many of his followers.
What an odd thing to say. I would agree. Lori, you're right. It's more about what he might have done. I think you're right. That's what, I mean, is it or isn't it? You said it isn't? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments, okay? I just wanted to bring that up because we were doing a check-in and we're done with Tizzy. Shout out to Tizzy. I don't always agree with everything that he says and he puts out there, but I do personally feel like, it is too much. And I think that as somebody that lives in this country, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Like there's certain parts of me concerns me. And I try to be as thoughtful and mindful of what everybody is, where y'all land and everything. But sometimes I have to say things that, don't always make sense to me. Like that doesn't always make sense to me. I don't get it. And he's in position and power, and there's certain people that he put in position as well. I think it's okay to call it out if it doesn't make sense, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You said, that's right. Disgusting. No wonder he did it for so long and got away with it. Lord have mercy. I know. Acosta is a snake. It doesn't matter whether or not those young girls were paid. The way those courts treat. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. The way that the courts, the grand jury treated those Jane Does was pretty disgusting. Has Biden been pressured to release them? That's a good question too. That's a great question too. Great question. The way the court treats victims, even from the first initial interaction with the police, speaking from experience. Yeah, Layla, I'd agree with you on that. Courts and defense always victim shames, right? They always kind of turn it into somebody else, like it's the victim's fault or something like that. It becomes something else, I don't think we'll ever solve the world's problems. But I want to appreciate everybody here for bringing this up. And like I said, I'll mind my business now and not talk about that anymore. But it was bothering me a bit. I said, let me check it. And Joe, I blame you. Girl, you brought it up. I blame you. This is why people won't give away the money, because it gives, if you give away the money, you give away the power. You say, yeah, Artie, we could try. Heidi says, never. But we could definitely try. Listen, let's move on. This is a live. No, I cannot. First of all, no. But thank you, Marilee. I appreciate the thought, but no. Never. No. Let's see what you guys are saying. Welcome everybody, for those that are coming in, and I'll make sure I put some timestamps on some of this, okay? He said, look how old Joe is. I don't know. I mean, if he's fine, he could do I'm sure he can do the job. I mean, he seems all over the place sometimes, but he could do the job if he can do the job, shout out to him. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. You're fine, Joe. You just got me on a tangent because it just made me think about all this stuff, and I was feeling a little bit some type of way about it. I can't be president. No, and I don't think they'll like me. No. I don't think a lot of people would like me. Are you kidding me? The way they listen, I complain about the trolls here and how we get attacked. The way the people go after the people politically here, nah. Hey, shopaholic. I'm just saying, it just no. You said, I hate it when defendants represent themselves so that they can terrorize their victims all over again in court. Right, Julie. You're right. Tiffany, welcome. All right, you guys. we got some stuff to get into. I'm out of coffee. I took a late night. Well, I slept in, and it felt really good to sleep in. I felt like I caught up on a couple of hours of sleep, and that was amazing. But I'm all over the place today, and I feel like let's do a little check-in, see how everybody's doing, where everybody's at. I just did my check-in. I'm fine. I'm all over the place, but I'm fine. We want to talk a little bit about somebody sent me this story of a true crime missing young man. Okay. And I want to look into it. There's a YouTuber that broke it down very well. And then Diddy, I got some news that hires high profile defense lawyer while this like federal probe is happening. So there's a lot happening in the news. You got the whole Alec Baldwin trial, and that's at some point I think will be interesting. There's not a lot of interest. I think part of it is because Alec Baldwin is not very popular. I could be wrong. Y'all like Alec Baldwin? He's not very popular. Let me know. Thank you for the hearts. Welcome. So that's what's been going on. But let me know, where are you guys standing? What's going on? What is up? Anybody want to tell me what's going on with their situation? What is up? How's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat, and then we'll move on to topics. Mary Lee says, nope. Alec is a troll. You don't like anyone in Hollywood. Hollyweird. I am working on a video about Minnie Driver. And it's a short little video. I was doing some research, and it just I like Minnie Driver. I feel like she's been blackballed, and we'll talk a little bit about that on that video. Heidi just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. Y'all put a heart in the chat for Heidi if you got a membership from her. Thank you, love. Thank you. You are awesome for doing that. Thank you. You said egotistical, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares about Alec Baldwin, but he could be facing prison time. I mean, I don't know if you guys know that. You said you dropped off the dogs. I don't know why I read cars. I need some caffeine. Dropped dogs at daycare and caught up on homework. Feeling accomplished. Well, shout out to you, Tiffany. Can I give a membership via mobile? I think so. I don't know. I think it depends if you have I don't know. It depends on the device. Lulu's in the house. Welcome. Okay, Nebby is here. You said Alec Baldwin's defense invoking the name of Brandon Lee. Why? You remember what happened with Brandon Lee, right? Like, what is he trying to say? That he is... I don't know. Alec Baldwin, I cannot with him sometimes. I feel like maybe it's the wife. I don't know. You said, I always thought Minnie Driver was kind of great. I like her. I just don't like what happened to her. And I'm doing a video on that. I'm actually working on the editing as we speak. So I'm probably going to drop it tonight. And it's a short little video, but I for whatever reason, she's been on my mind lately. I don't know why. I think he's a good actor, but I don't like Alec Baldwin as a person. I agree with you on that. Didn't she do the voice of Tarzan in 1999? I don't know. Did she? Look it up. Let me know, because I'm kind of curious now. You said rich people problems. Ooh. Yeah, well, there's that too. No Alec. Cajun Mama's like, no Alan. Joe says half as many likes as people. Double check that. Thank you, my love. Shout out to you. You said, I disagree. I think they can absolutely charge Trump, but they would throw half of Congress under the bus, so they won't allow it. I think who took the fall of a lot of this was Ghislaine Maxwell, or Ghislaine. See, and that's another person that I was like, I kind of want to do a little deep dive on her, because I am curious about her. Did y'all know she did a TED Talk? Ghislaine Maxwell had like a TED Talk where she talked about like the ocean and stuff like that. So she was, the madam, and then at the same time an educator. Ghislaine, her name gets mutilated. Yeah, she did. Didn't Alec play Trump on SNL? Yeah, he did. And I think that's why people aren't like, I mean, I thought it was funny. It's a parody. People do parodies on people. I thought it was funny. But he didn't like that. He didn't think it was funny. Yeah, I got 99 problems and being a rich person ain't one. You tell them. That is so true. I got 99 problems and being rich ain't one of them. It would help with the 99 problems. Let's get it together. Okay, it would, but it's not one of them. Okay. It's French, so it's pronounced with the S, I believe. Okay, so that's why when I was saying Francucci, y'all were like Francoise, you guys were coming at me in the comments like, Rabbit, don't say it like that. When you say the S, it's for male, right? Is that what you guys were saying? Let me know. You said I'd be rich minus the problems. I heard that lady. I maybe doing a deep dive on her might be a good idea too, because I feel like, and there's been some deep dives, but you can't ignore her, You can't ignore her. You say, I forgot to get the like button on my husband's account. He supports who I support. Well, he better. Shout out to your hubby. Shout out to your hubby. Not jizz, not jizz. It's he's or not jizz. Excuse me. Not like jizz. My bad. My bad. Her father's part of the elites. Eat more pizza. Please hand in your late slip to Cheeks. You're not the only one that's late. I woke up late too. Her father's part of the elites. See, this is that kind of stuff that I really want to get into. But I don't think, like, at least the jizz, excuse me, Joe, jizz lane. Girl. We got into the jizz of stuff, okay? I'm just gonna say that. You braid that. you know what would be great if YouTube allowed like GIFs on the chat. Like if you could. So some certain platforms have allowed GIFs on the chat. So like you can actually add to the comments. I think that would be fun. Like I would be so down if they had like GIFs or GIFs in the comments to add to y'all's, reaction to things. You said Trump is almost the same age. Oof. Just saying. But please know, y'all vote whoever you want to vote for. You the American or whatever land decide, support whoever you want to support. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say about that. I just had to say something about the fact that I felt like I couldn't say anything because, I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, and I don't want people to think that I'm influencing you. And then you also people shoot the messenger instead of really listening to the message. That's what happens. You said I watched some deep dives about her and she's affiliated with the world of elites via her father. Yeah. So why? This is interesting. Like that you say this because she did this TED Talk. Have y'all watched this? I got to show you this TED Talk. Okay. And like I said, I might do a deeper dive on Ghislaine. Ghislaine. I'm gonna get some like really angry emails to watch. Rabbit, why do you say it that way? This is her. All right, hold up, y'all. Because like I said, I have an open agenda. We're kind of addressing various topics right now, and I'll make sure I put some timestamps. So this is her. This was back in 2014. She was speaking at a TED Talk, okay? And I said, this lady is the madam? For real, for real?
I noticed that my speech today was leveraging technology to create a global ocean community. I'm going to change that on you, and I'm going to leverage technology to create a new country. Now, I know I speak with a funny accent, and so yes, I did say country, not company. So with that, I'm the founder of an internet project called the Terramar Project. It's an ocean-based digital platform which I'm going to be talking to you about. I just want to go back briefly to talk to you about why I got involved in the ocean, and because I think it's important to have history.
It's crazy though, but like like, what made this woman be so deviant? Like, what led her to be so, like Tina says, she's deviant. I want to know that, like, even the psyche behind that. What led her to be that? What led her to, like, I'm trying to figure this out, you know? And Dag, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Shout out to you, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting. You think it was money? I have to wonder, you know? I have to wonder, y'all. You said the cringe is too strong. I know I speak like a predator, says Heidi. Oh my god. Oh, so she's British or Australian? I thought she was British. No, she's not British. I don't think she's British. That's a professional trafficker. But like, what led her to this? You know what I mean? Like, what's the why behind it? Maybe blackmail? It's always about money. Mary Lee has been a member for 2 months. Thank you, Mary Lee, for being a member. I feel like you've been a member for longer. Shout out to you. Thank you. Um, hmm. Her family is very well connected. Her dad was the Mirrorsoft guy from the, is it Tetris movie? And as already mentioned, Mossad, he's accused of faking his own death. She's British. I didn't think she was British. Where is the list of all the visitors? Oh, there, and that's the thing, is like they have said that people have altered that list. I need to know what, like, where they got the list. That's what I want to know. I see I got into this like in my mind, and I'm so late on this. Her father's from Ukraine. Oh, he's Ukrainian. Really? So she is British. Robert Maxwell. You said greed, a deadly sin. Most of these elites are Satanists, just saying. I agree with you on that. Lelia says we don't claim that girl. I wouldn't either, girl. We don't claim her. We don't claim her. But see, I started watching this and it just kind of made me wonder, like, what, why? Why'd you do all this? What happened? What had happened here? Oh, okay, thank you. Cheeks put the membership link in the chat if you guys want it. It's also in the description box if you guys are having a hard time getting into it. It's there. Wiki says British, but born in France. Oh, okay. See, this is why I was like, I didn't think she was British, but I guess she is. So the boat and yacht, this is the dad, blew up and he was on it. Okay, so she's French and British also. I figured out how to explain how to pronounce her name. It's Ghislaine, not Ghislaine. I say it like that because y'all correct me in the chat and I think it's funny. I'm trolling you. I hope you know when I do this. It's a hard G. Ghislaine Maxwell. All right. Gotcha. Thank you, Miss Scorp AZ Arizona. Shout out to you. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, there you, and then there's Mary Lee who says she spells the name like this. Am I trolling you? Probably. I blame the French. Well, there you go. So I did, you said that Ghislaine is hilarious. Say it however you want to say it. That's right, Heidi. You tell them. Y'all say it however you want to say it. We're going to fight today, okay? All right, so let me just say this. I didn't have quite an agenda, and I said I'm just going to go live and say hello to the people and see how everybody's doing. There was multiple things that were running in my head that I want to talk about. You said, I'm going to ignore it, says Lori. You said you prefer the way I say it. Thank you, Ghislaine. Well, I mean, she's a convicted, person. So can we just, like, why are we trying to get her name right? Say it with your chest. Ghislaine. Okay? G with a hard G. Okay? That's right. She did it for Epstein. So wow, that's a good question. That's a good question. All right, let's talk about another trafficker, allegedly, and in my opinion. Let's talk about another trafficker. But by the way, I'm doing a video on this, and I kind of want to do a longer video because I want to kind of get your guys' reaction. It's going to be an upload, and we're going to give a lot of commentary because I have a lot of questions about this woman. And I don't feel like I've really ever looked into her as much. Uh, okay, let's get into it. Tinker Mom is still Tinker. You said it's a common name. I hate that she has it. It's one of my. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Scorp. Shout out to you. Be Kind just arrived. Everybody, Be Kind is here, and let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about another trafficker. Okay. So this other trafficker by the name of Sean Diddy Combs, you guys might know him. I'm not really sure. Y'all know Diddy, right? You know Diddy. We all know Diddy? Okay, I just want to get into it. So Diddy hires a high-profile defense lawyer. All right, now I don't know what all of this is going to mean. There's a new lawsuit. I'm sure you guys know it. And I was reviewing the lawsuit and they got nudie pictures in that new lawsuit. I'm not joking. You guys can Google search it. It's up there. It's public information, but there's like nude pictures in it. And it just kind of tells the story of it tells what's going on as far as the side of the victims and everything. So keep that in mind. Combs hired Mark, and I don't know how to say it. Is it Agfilio, to fight possible sex trafficking charges. Diddy also faces a 10th lawsuit over sexual abuse allegations. Troubles have mounted since a 2016 video has surfaced. Yes, we are spicy today. That's right. It is what it is. So Diddy has hired a new lawyer, and I'm sure that people have been saying that there's been a lot of probing going on currently with this, and a lot of it has been on the hush hush and on a low, which typically happens on a case like this. But we have yet to see anything come about this. I know that one of the lawyers was it which one was it? Hold up. I want to say, was it TMZ? And I'm trying not to play TMZ stuff because they are like, what is it? They like to strike your stuff. Lawyer Diddy, hold up, case. Was it a new one that said that he's going to need a powerful attorney, number one, right? Like, we know this for a fact. He's going to need somebody that is going to be looking into this and everything. They're going to need it. So I'm just trying to figure out, when are the feds? When are the arrests? When is court? When are we, and all of that is going to take time. That's all. I keep losing a plot. What's his name now? You don't. His name is Diddy. Y'all remember Diddy? Yeah, this guy was still waiting. Thank you. Thank you. Tell everybody to hit that like button. Okay, there is Wim. Wim is here. You said can watch all Rabbit's videos, but no Rabbit video. Shout out to Wim. I don't know what you mean, but no Rabbit videos? I'm late, Wim. I'm really, really late today. I know. I woke up late and, I slipped in today. Sure did. Sure did. Okay, there's another story of a young man that's going around, and I don't feel like I'm very well versed in this. This is another one that I'm getting a little slow to, and I feel like I got to catch up on a lot of my true crime stuff. But this is a creator by the name of Crime Scene to Courtroom, Jay Slater. So there's a young man, I think he's like 19 years old, went missing. Okay, and people are saying that there's some kind of an underground criminal network that has to do with this one. Have y'all heard of this one? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What are you guys thinking? Get ahead of the curve and deep dive the new Attorney Rabbit. Find out what that's another deep dive that we're gonna have to get into. Yeah, this appearance is a little bit weird. You already knew this? All right, Lori. So some of you guys already knew this. So this story is getting kind of, first of all, this creator, in my opinion, and let me make sure that I share his first of all, the channel and the video, did a freaking phenomenal breakdown of this case. I'm new to it completely. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it and see what you guys think. It's international, at least for me. But y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? So this is Jay Slater went missing.
So in this video, I'll be taking you through some of my own thoughts regarding the disappearance of 19-year-old Jay Slater in Tenerife. Now, just to give you a little bit of context regarding this case in particular, Jay went missing on June 17th. He had travelled to Tenerife with some friends. They were out partying. At some stage, they become separated. Jay ends up at an Airbnb some 50 minutes drive away, where he was taken there by 2 individuals. The following day, a couple of his friends hear from Jay, but apart from that, he has not been seen or heard from since. Now, so many people have asked me in the comment section to my videos, have I been following this case? What are my opinions on this particular topic? So in this video, I'm going to take you through a short section of a video created by retired detective Mark Williams Thomas, in which I will interject in places and share some of my own thoughts on what I believe may have happened.
I've now spoken in some detail to one of these men, Ayub Kasim, who was known as Johnny Vegas. And I've also identified the other male that was with him, but I've not yet spoken to him. Ayub has provided me with his account of what he says happened on that morning, Monday, the 17th of June. He said he was on the strip, Jay wanted to carry on partying, and he said he had nowhere to stay, so he said he could come back to his.
Right, so let's cut in here fairly early on, because I know a lot of...
So did this guy, I mean, young kid, okay, traffickers, drug traffickers, people have speculated, was he trafficked, or did he owe a debt to somebody, and therefore he's paying for that debt at this point? There's a lot that's been said about this story, and people have speculated. There was a TikToker who went to travel to go and search for this young man, and now he's also being stalked and harassed. Happy birthday to your husband. Kind of makes you wonder. Night Charm says it's giving Usher and Justin Bieber. Night Charm. Why do you say that? Yeah. Why do you say that? I mean, he is a young kid, you know, but like, was there a trafficking situation? Because I do have to kind of wonder. There's a lot of speculation. Party in pairs, people. Yeah. And there was like an Airbnb. I do have to kind of wonder about this. I'm curious to know.
A lot of people have made mention that what he said here simply makes no sense whatsoever. Jay was staying very close by to where this conversation took place. So why would Jay say, I've got nowhere to stay? Now, on the face of things, that does sound like quite a strange occurrence. Why would Jay say, I've got nowhere to stay, when his apartment was fairly close by? However, what isn't taken into account here, or even mentioned in this media piece, is how was Jay appearing at that time? How was he presenting himself? Was he under the influence of drink or drugs? Was he frantic? Was he disorientated? We simply don't know.
Right.
We've got no idea how he appeared to this individual. No idea whatsoever. However, my concern with this case is that this is just one of many inconsistencies as we move forward.
They say in the car, they played music and chatted before stopping to get a drink at a cafe at the shop just prior to entering the mountains. He says he was driving, his friend was in the passenger seat, and Jay was in the back. They say on arrival at the rental, his friend opened the door, went into the left, and went straight to sleep. Jay walked in behind, followed by him, and when got inside, they went upstairs, and Ayub then said to Jay, sofa's yours, here's a towel, here's a blanket, have a shower if you want.
Okay, so let's just jump in again here just very quickly. Now, the whole point of Jay wanting to go back with this individual was to continue to party. That was one of the main reasons why he wanted to go back and drive over 50 minutes back to this person's Airbnb. Now, the Airbnb is located in the back arse end of nowhere. It's not near the party venue. It's not near Jay's own accommodation. And one of the main reasons was because he wanted to continue to party. Yet when they...
Yeah, okay. So some of you guys, let me stop. Tina says they say that he stole a Rolex. That's what I heard too. I heard that story. It feels really dark. I think that's what it like. I was like, this is like... feels really dark. That's what it is, cheeks, honestly. Leah says he has previously been charged with being a gang of boys beating someone with machetes involved. I heard about this too. There's just so many moving parts. Right, very suspicious for sure. Probably some of former R. Kelly collaborators. Okay, hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. So he went out with people and he didn't know well. Yeah, that's what it seems like. And then he goes back to the Airbnb. Okay. Was he drinking? Like, what was his state of mind? I have a lot of questions about this too. And why would they target him? Like, did he owe a debt?
When they get to the Airbnb, they open the door. This other guy's mate pops off to the left. He's going to have a kip. He's going to sleep. No problem. He said to Jay, here's a shower. Here's a towel. You know, basically, I'll see you in the morning or I'm going to sleep. There's no mention there of anything taking place in terms of continuing the party or really any sort of mention of the whole purpose of them being there in the first place, or one of the reasons Jay got in the car to travel back there in the first place. No mention at all. I mean, some people may say, well, they're hardly going to say, yeah, we stayed up for 2 hours doing drugs, but they don't have to, do they? He could have said, well, we stayed up for a few hours chatting, we listened to a bit of music, this happened, that happened. But there seems to be something missing at this point in the story. Why would you go all that way, almost an hour in the car, away from your accommodation to somewhere, fairly rural, you would say, and go through the door and immediately go to bed.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, by the way, I just got a message that there's a press conference for those, hold up, let me see. Oh, snap. There is a press conference that Biden is holding. It's literally in a couple minutes. Lord have mercy. People are saying that I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen. Rabbit, would you rather have Biden? See, that's the thing, Lori, is you need to support and vote whoever you want to vote for. Does that make sense? I'm not here to tell you to vote for one person or another. This is where, like, I'm not going to tell you who I vote for or what I do. You know what I mean? Respectfully, Lori, because it's like, to me, it's like, I'm not there to influence that. I want y'all to do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. I'm just calling out the fact that, like, if whether it's Biden or Trump or whomever, if there's any type of affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, I think we need to talk about that and talk about that in general. That's my thought. You know what I mean? That's all. That's what I mean by that. Welcome everybody that's coming in. If someone is missing, I'm not trusting the last person with them to tell the truth. Salty, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, let's keep going. All right. Listen, I think that's a good point. All right.
His friend's gone to bed. He's shown him where a towel is, the shower. I'm going off to sleep. Now, what I want people to really pay attention to here is how Jay is described in this next clip. Now, this was the point that stood out to me the most, I have to say, because I get the impression that Jay was making his excuses because he wanted to leave immediately. This other guy, he's got his back turned. He's dealing with other stuff at the front of the property. Next thing he turns around, Jay's already got his shoes on. Yeah, I'm going. Well, just wait a second. I'll give you a lift. No, it's all right, mate. No. He's very much making his excuses to leave. And my question is, what happened in between that time period? I've got my own opinion, shall we say, but I'm going to get to that at the end. Because I also feel it's tied into where Jay's phone last pinged, and also the discussion from his friend Lucy regarding Jay's phone being on 1%. But pay attention to Jay's behavior at this point in time. Take a listen to the following.
So Lucy, people are looking at Lucy as having something to do with this as well. Yes, my love. This is the prebiotic grape soda. It's actually pretty good. You know what I mean? That's it. Pretty good. That's it. Thank you. Literally, Lisa says, Rabbit, I appreciate your take on politics. I just wish it was possible to discuss without having crazy fights happening. But I understand. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you so much for making this comment. I support you guys supporting whomever you want to support. That's all. Because honestly, like, it's a double-edged sword, however you see it, but I agree. Can't leave Scientology, don't you know? What do you mean, Nebulous? Shout out to Nebulous. Oh my God. Anyways, I'll get into that later on.
Jay asked for a cigarette, and Ayub said, I've got some Camel cigarettes, and put one on the side. Jay then asked for a phone charger. He said, go into my friend's room, he's asleep, take his charger, and you can put your phone on charge. There was no charging point by the sofa. Ayub says he then goes to sleep and he's woken by a buzzer.
Question.
Ayub says he comes down the stairs. Jay says to him, what's that annoying noise? Which was the doorbell. Ayub says he opens the door and speaks to a woman and a man, and they gesture that he needed to move his car. Ayub says he gets into his car and he's starting to move it, and he looks in the rearview mirror and he sees Jay talking to a woman. He's got his trainers on, so he's about to leave. Jay then says to Ayub, having moved the car, the woman says, I can get a bus every 10 minutes. And Ayub says to him, mate, just chill out. I'll drop you off in town when I wake up properly. He went, no. I'm hungry. I need to get a scram. And the woman told me I can get a bus every 10 minutes to Los Cristianos.
Okay. So in that part that I've just played you there's some discussion about Jay saying he needed a phone charger. The guy has said, go into my friend's room. He's asleep and there's a charger in there. Now, shortly after Jay leaves the property, there's a phone conversation between himself and his friend Lucy Law. Now, on that telephone conversation, by all accounts, Lucy said that Jay had said to her, I've got no phone battery, I'm on 1%.
And then I woke up to a phone call at like 8:30 in the morning, around 8:30, from Jay saying that he'd gone up to the mountains, that his phone was on 1%, so it was like.
So we can say with a fair deal of certainty that that phone charger was never used. Jay never got that phone charger from the room, but did Jay go in there and find something else? Now, the reason I'm saying this
Hold up. Let me see. And why did she not go to get with him? Right? Like, why let him go by himself? I don't think they're being honest either as well, Heidi. Something's giving me that feeling. This is a pretty dark story. At least it's seeming to go that way. New Name says, in the heat on that island, it is a bit bizarre that the sniffer dogs they brought in didn't find him, assuming, of course, he died out there. Shout out to New Name. Well, I mean, why would they lose the scent if the person dies? I don't think so. Like, it shouldn't matter. Maybe he's not in the island anymore. Maybe he's not. Maybe he was taken out. You know what this reminds me of a little bit of, like Madeleine McCann. Remember how they were like, just the whole, there's a darkness behind a lot of this, you know? Yes, I don't support you, but getting forced. What? Me? Am I forcing you to support me? I hope not. Shout out to Wim. I don't know what's wrong. I'm listening and I'm out and about, says Blonde. You said it's a scam. What's a scam? Let me know. Epstein was also a fake philanthropist for focus on science, excuse me. His MO was to persuade wealthy people to join the efforts. Ooh, color me Oakland. Thank you. The ex-girlfriend left the festival hours before him. Gotcha. Okay, Wim. I was like, what are you talking about? Wim is like barely watching. Shout out to Wim. Okay, so they're full of taxis. How you get about you can't walk? Huh. And I heard that there was a GoFundMe that they did for his search, but now is the mom behind the GoFundMe too? See, there is some darkness behind this story. I don't know what it is. And I'm not like I said, I'm late to this story, but there's some darkness behind this.
It's because I'm trying to work out why Jay would be so keen to leave the property, you know, in a rush almost. Why would he be looking to get out of there? Why would he be making his excuses to leave? And I wonder if that part of the story that's being told here by Mark Williams Thomas has been changed around very slightly, and that the guy who gave this interview was actually going out to the front of the property to move the cars, this, that, and the other. And during that time, he had said to Jay, go and get the charger. It's in my mate's room. He's asleep. Jay's gone into the room, and instead of taking the charger, he's maybe found something else.
Jay then asked for a phone charger. He said, go into my friend's room. He's asleep. Take his charger, and you can put your phone on charge.
Now, let's bear in mind, if that is the case, and again, this is just pure speculation on my behalf here, but if that is the case, and Jay has taken something from that room, then that is one of those, it's a snap decision, isn't it? It's not something you can later then go back on. If you take something from that property, you can't just return it in 10 minutes time. Mm-hmm. You can't walk back there 30 minutes later and say, oh, hang on a minute, this was in my pocket. You can't do that. And I wonder if that's linked to how Lucy Law describes that phone conversation. She says, well, Jay said, I can't go back there. I can't go back there.
Like, you need to go back there. He said to me, I can't go back there. I can't go back there. I don't know where it is.
Why can't he go back there? He's walked just up the road. Why can't he go back there? Is it because something has been taken from that property? Again, I'm basing this on his behavior. He wants to get out. He wants to leave the property. The guy's turned around. He's got his shoes on. He's quite surprised. You know, oh, don't worry, I'll give you a lift. No, sorry. He wants to leave the property. Why?
Yeah, why couldn't he leave the property? Hey, Operation Ivy, welcome. Okay, Salty says, I'd be a terrible detective. Y'all guilty as AF until you prove me not. You think it's S trafficking? You think it's S trafficking? I'm kind of wondering. See, this story seems very dark. This story seems very dark. Chico's like, Lord, what did I walk into? We did a quick little check-in, Chico, everybody. We'll be done here pretty soon, but y'all see what I'm talking about? It's a very dark story. All right, let me keep playing.
Why does he want to leave the property? Is it because during that time of going to get the telephone charger, the phone charger from his friend's room who was asleep, did he find something else in that room? And again, if that's the case, he's made that decision and there's no going back at that point. If you find an opportunity in those circumstances, you either take it or you don't. And if he did decide to do that, then he's committed to that course of action. He's got to take the stuff, he's got to get out of there, and he's not going to be returning. What I also feel adds credibility to this theory is the fact that when Jay left the property, he didn't turn right downhill in the direction of his apartment, although it's, you know, many, many miles away. He didn't turn right and head towards the direction of his apartment and the way in which they came in the night before when they arrived at the Airbnb. He didn't follow that path. Now think about this from his perspective. If something indeed was taken from that room, what would you do? You would leave the property and you would take a direction where you're not expected to be followed. You're not expected to be found. So instead of turning right, where he may believe that's where they're going to look for him first, he turns left and goes uphill because he's trying to get away. He's trying not to be found.
Wow. So he's running away from something. Now, Alice says, I have two ideas about this. He's dead because he stole something, or he got drunk and high and walked away and died. But I don't really believe the second one. But if they use the dogs, why haven't they been able to find his body though? Thank you, Cheeks. Shout out to you, Cheeks. Wait, what? You said Chico, did you used to be part of the dance group in Dallas by chance? Chico, is it La Michi? The Miracle Cat? Why? What kind of question is that? I don't know. I'll let Chico answer. The island is known to have a dark drug scene. He is not the first person to disappear there. Really? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Huh. Okay. All right.
Now, as a side note to this, I have read somewhere that if you put this location into Apple Maps as if you're walking back to Jay's apartment, although it's, as I say, many, many miles away, if you use Apple Maps, it will in fact tell you to turn left and go uphill. However, if you use Google Maps, it will tell you to turn right and head downhill in a natural direction of Jay's apartment. Again, as I say, although it is many, many miles away. But we're not just looking at here, are we? Someone who has come out of the Airbnb and has just simply taken a stroll in the wrong direction. We're not looking at that. We're looking at someone who has walked a fair distance up the hill and then he's gone off-road. Why has he gone off-road? Is that because, as I say, he doesn't want to be found? He doesn't want to be seen. I've also read some information that that was not the only call that Lucy had that morning, that in fact she spoke to another unnamed individual. And my concern is that that was one of the people who was staying at the Airbnb. They called Lucy and said, where's Jay? X, Y, and Z has happened. Where is he? Because then according to a screenshot that was put out there, it was Lucy who actually called Jay. It wasn't Jay calling Lucy. It was Lucy calling Jay. And I wonder if that phone call was something like, where are you? What's happened? What's going on? What are you doing? Where are you? I can't go back there. I can't go back there. This has happened. I'm now. And at this point, did Jay become worried that they were going to know where he was and he went off-road? Because naturally, if you're looking for someone, yes, you are going to start by retracing your steps from the previous evening. Of course you are. You're going to take the car, you're going to go downhill, you're going to follow the route that you came in the night before, believing that that is the route Jay would initially take.
Yes. Yeah. So this is, a lot of it is weird. Be Kind says driving an hour is suspicious. You don't drive an hour to continue partying. If sex trafficking, he would mention something in the call. Or can he? Be Kind, what if he can't? What if he was around people? Remart says, I think he either found and stole something or he saw something and he shouldn't. That's what I think. Maybe he saw something or somebody followed him too. You said, why would you never leave the road unless there's a reason? I heard like she seems a little sketch too. This is a new one to me. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm late to this, but this young man has been missing since what, the 17th of June? My understanding. And a lot of this is just a lot of sketchiness is around this.
However, once you've walked up the hill for such a distance, at some point you're going to think to yourself, hang on a minute, what if they check up here? What if they drive up here? Is that what led him to go off-road? Because I'm trying to put the pieces together here. Why he was so keen to leave that property in such a rush. Why he has taken a left, walking further away from where his property, his own apartment, is located. Why there's this phone call then between Lucy and Jay where he says he's got 1% battery, which tells us he most likely didn't use that charger. And why he then goes off-road. Is it because he'd walked for so long up that road, he thought at some point, once they've gone down there, they're going to come up here looking for me. I've got to go off-road. I'm going to try and cut across. Did he get lost? Did they actually catch up with him? I don't know. And again, this is just my own personal perspective. I'm trying to understand the reasons why Jay would want to leave there so quickly. I mean, equally, you could say maybe there was a falling out, maybe something else happened. But I just find it odd that there's this discussion about the phone charger. Yeah, there's a phone charger in here. My friend's asleep. Just picture that. If that did happen, and he walked into that room and that guy was asleep and there was something else in the room and he didn't use the phone charger, what happened next? Now, this discussion in this particular video regarding Jay going into that room and finding something and then taking it naturally is just one of many, many possibilities. What I'm interested in and what drew me to this case in particular and what made me actually create this video is what drew me to Jay's behavior, this need to get out, taking the wrong direction and then going off road. For me, this doesn't appear like someone who is trying to find his way back to his apartment. It just doesn't strike me as that. It strikes me as someone who is trying to get away from something for some unknown reason.
What if he was just trying to get away? What if he was just trying to like get away from everything? It just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't be going off road unless I had a legit reason. Was someone chasing him or harassing him? Was he by himself? It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it at all. Unless he didn't take a left, and maybe they said that so they don't go looking into the actual direction he went, potentially. I don't know. You said he couldn't have just gone home with the psycho. He didn't steal anything, just some weirdo he inadvertently met up with. Didn't they say that there was like a Rolex involved? That's my understanding.
And we also need to factor in that many of the statements made by his friends simply don't make any sense. Jay called me. Well, no, actually, I called Jay. And yeah, I spoke to Jay. He was laughing and joking. Well, he wasn't laughing and joking when I spoke to him because he tripped on a cactus and he was bleeding. You know, there's so many different versions here. And many characters in this story actually seem quite fearful to tell their version of events. Do let me know some of your own thoughts and theories down in the comment section.
You guys go check out this creator. I think that, I mean, there's just so many videos out there right now. But in my opinion, this specific creator by the name of Crime Scene to Courtroom actually did a really good breakdown and just kind of got to it. And a lot of what he's saying is making sense to me, at least in my opinion. You said, I'm thinking these hooked up with and after the concert was sus, right? Right. You said there is something about him pricking his leg on the cactus. Wonder if he was given a hot shot and drugged. Huh. The Rolex is allegedly without proof. Okay. Looking at the terrain, a human body can be hard to find or easily dispose of via deep forest brush or shark-infested waters. Just a thought. I've heard about the Rolex and I've heard it referred to drugs. Okay. It does. Isn't it given like Shanquella? Mm-hmm. It's given that case. It's definitely where all the friends are suspect and everybody's suspect. Yeah. I would say so. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta work on some edited videos. I got some videos to do. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. First of all, let me just say thank you guys for letting me rant earlier. I appreciate you guys. But again, I'm not telling y'all what to do or what to support. You support whoever you want to. All right. That's what I love about where we're at and what we do is that y'all are able to do that. Okay. Please note that. And I will let you guys go. That's it. That's all. And shout out to JoJo who got us there. Shout out to JoJo who got us there. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Or even the Riley case. There's another one too. That was another one too that took us there too, where we were kind of going crazy and everything. But I appreciate everybody. I gotta go because I gotta go get some, deal with baby bunny and feed her and do all that mother stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.